Developing this hour, President Trump says China has violated their trade agreement. We've got a live look at the stocks reacting to this news this morning, kind of the back and forth on tariff talks, starting the day in the red. NewsNation's Robert Sherman joining us from the White House with more on this. Robert, good morning again to you. What do we know about the trade deal violation the administration is alleging here?
Yeah, I mean, what we have heard, from the trade representatives and many of those close to the president up to this point is that they continue to view China as this #1 bad actor when it comes to trade and when it comes to the agreements that have been set in place. This is what the president has said here this morning, saying, quote, made a fast deal with China in order to save them from what I thought was going to be a very bad situation. I didn't want to see that happen because of this deal. Everything quickly stabilized and China got back to business as usual. Everybody was happy. That is the good news. Bad news is that China, perhaps not surprisingly to some, has totally violated its agreement with us. Is seeking more clarity from the White House on all of this. But we can glean a bit of perspective from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who is talking about this week how he believes that the trade talks between China and the United States have effectively hit a stalling point and believes that it's going to take direct conversations between the leadership in Beijing and Washington, namely between President Xi Jinping and President Trump, in order to move past these stalling points here. That's one front of tariffs that the White House is dealing with. On the other end, they have all of their tariff policies tied up in the courts right now, hoping to score some legal victories, with the White House saying they remain confident that they will win and intend to press forward. Take a listen.
As far as we're concerned, our trade agenda is moving forward, and we've already heard from countries around the world today who will continue to negotiate in good faith with the United States so we can cut good trade deals on behalf of the American people, and we fully expect to win this case in court.
One of the countries that the White House has said that they've had direct conversations with this week is Japan. They've also said that a number of these countries have reached out to the United States, acknowledging the situation that's ongoing in the courts, but still pressing forward with these negotiations over trade deals. There does seem to be an assumption here that the White House is operating with, that in the end, the courts will side with them. But of course, there's much more of this still to come here, Marni.
And in regards to Japan, Robert, the president heading to Pennsylvania today to talk steel, jobs in manufacturing. What can we expect from that?
Yeah, I mean, that has to deal with this agreement between U.S. Steel and Nippon Steel in Japan. And there was a time in which the Japanese steel company was hoping to buy U.S. Steel outright. But we know that there was a lot of pushback to that kind of a maneuver there. This new deal that is coming to the forefront here between these two companies being framed as an agreement or an investment partnership with U.S. Steel, in which U.S. Steel would still have their leadership here in the United States, according to the president. It still seems as though there's some details that need to be hashed out with all this, but the president claiming that this could create tens of thousands of jobs, $14 billion for the economy, keeping U.S. Steel in the United States, which has been very important to the president, with the bulk of those investments coming in the next 14 months. So we expect to hear from the president speaking on the ground in the Commonwealth this evening.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.